Sports on Tap is brought to you by Go To Pro Plumbing, Land and Sea Motorsports, On the Bay Customs Boutique and Cafe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
I don't know what we're yelling about!
I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Loud noises!
Not a game.
This is the first time in my life I'm glad I'm deaf.
We talking about practice, man.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
65.
63. Knew it, I'm surrounded by assholes.
Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, with loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With music and straws dropping, they getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening and you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Buckle the fuck up.
You can't let that shit happen. You can't.
I love that.
Nicely done. Welcome to this week's edition of Sports on Tap. I'm Chris Scott, alongside Joe Waddell and Frank Giagata. Gentlemen, how are we?
Good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We're doing wonderful.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear.
Doing good. How are you?
You know, just living life.
Yeah.
Getting through it, you know, whatever.
Same.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Same.
Pretty much. It's like our house, it's a pain in the ass.
And I'm going to steal one from Frank here. Everybody's waiting for their Biden bucks.
Yeah, Biden bucks. I love that. That's solid.
Full credit goes out to my little brother on that one.
Yeah, that's I love that terminology. It's fantastic. Well played.
Fully redeemable Biden bucks.
Biden bucks.
You can use those for your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking right.
That's where mine's going.
That's same here.
This week we're gonna get into NFL free agency and obviously the tournament, which is coming up pretty quick here. I think we're gonna start the show off. We're gonna get our bets out of the way, just obviously before 7:30. So you know, if you guys wanna throw some chips down on some games and whatnot, you know, you guys will give you our thoughts. Obviously, don't take our thoughts as, you know, guarantees or anything like that.
Yes.
By all means, don't do that.
Yes.
But we'd like to get those out of the way before, you know, some games start here.
There is one pick you do need to take seriously.
Yes, there is. You want to tell them what it is?
Do we want to jump right into it?
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
all right.
hold on one second. Let's jump in.
All right.
If you've had plumbing problems, you're definitely not alone. The next time you have an issue, there's only one place to call. Go To Pro Plumbing. They're a local family-owned company with 15 years of experience. Based in Centerline, they serve the Metro Detroit area, keeping your pipes clean and flowing with fair prices and happy customers. They're open 7 days a week for all your plumbing needs. The knowledgeable and experienced staff will keep you informed of their progress every step of the way to make your experience as smooth as possible. Call Go To Pro Plumbing today at 586-250-2881. That's 586-250-2881. Go To Pro Plumbing. When your pipes won't flow, call the pro.
It's time!
All right. So the bet that Chris and I were just discussing, he actually let me know about last night. And currently the Spartans are getting 78.5 points. And that line is still moving.
Mm-hmm.
Maximum bet of $50 wins you about 45.
Yep.
You really have no reason not to do this.
No, it's a spread the love bet, which they do.
Yeah.
I think about once a month they do it,
Yeah,
right?
about once a month.
That's kind of what I like
Yeah.
about FanDuel is
Yeah.
they tend to do that stuff, which I think is pretty
It's
cool.
basically if you're not going to gamble on anything else, it's a free 45-45
Yep.
that you can put in your pocket and take home.
Cool.
So I think it's a great thing, and of course FanDuel does it because they know most people are going to leave it in there and gamble it again.
Oh yeah,
but
they're gonna lose it.
But
yeah.
for you out there, this is a way to get an extra 45 no matter what you're going to spend it on.
Yep. No, I dig it. It works
Great.
works for me.
Goes into your account after about 3 days if you decide to get right out of it.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. $45 free.
I do wish it was a little bit quicker getting into your account, but
It would be nice.
Yeah,
some
but-
of them are faster than others.
Yeah.
There are some that are faster.
FoxBet is like literally the instant you do it.
oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's not like PointsBet was like that too.
PointsBet is fast.
I haven't
yeah.
even seen PointsBet yet. I haven't even downloaded it. haven't
I
looked
have
at
the
it,
app. I
nothing.
haven't like done anything with it yet, but I have the app. I just
That's the one the Red Wings are partnered with, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so yeah, if you guys want to do that, that's like Joe said. It's something. Just like you said, if you want an extra couple of bucks, and you like to gamble a little bit, but don't want to be crazy about it, I think that's why not throw some chips on it and.
And the nice thing about the spread the love bets, like this line keeps moving.
Yeah.
Right now we got 652 more people that have to bet on it,
Yeah.
and then the line goes up to 79.5.
Yeah.
And everybody who's bet on it gets it at that number. So whatever this thing ends on, even if it's 150 points that the Spartans are getting,
Yeah.
everybody gets it. Everybody ends up winning.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, it's just a great way to start the tournament off.
Oh, absolutely. Fresh 45 in your pocket.
Yep.
Sweet. I can dig it.
Especially in a game that, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think the Spartans are going to win anyways.
I do as well, and obviously we'll talk more about that
Right.
once we get to tournament talk. But as for our legitimate bets,
Yeah.
do you want to start us off, Joe?
You can start off.
You want to start it off?
Yeah,
All
you
right,
can
that's
start.
fine. I got a Super Boost on FanDuel, which the Super Boosts they're great, but they're not so great because if you hit, it's fantastic.
They are.
But it's generally you have to hit two things for this to happen.
Sometimes three.
Sometimes three. But I like the Super Boost. I like to throw $5-10 on it, whatever. And like I said, even if you hit, you're gonna walk away with a decent chunk of change, which is always fun. So for my first bet, we're gonna go a Champions League bet. It's Chelsea and Bayern Munich both to win tomorrow at plus 240. I think that can happen. Bayern arguably is the best team in the world, and Chelsea's been in pretty good form lately, especially with their new manager. They are going up against Atletico Madrid. They are a very difficult team to play against, especially defensively. But at plus 240, why not?
I was going to say basically double your money on
Exactly.
Man, I like that.
Yeah.
I like it. Frank, you want to go?
Well, I'm going to go with the one that we were discussing just a little bit ago, right before we jumped on the air.
Oh boy. When you were gonna throw $4,000.
At no point was I going to throw $4,000 on this, but it was one of those ideas that passed through my head where I was like,
He was going to throw his Biden bucks on it.
seriously,
yeah.
if they were available to me now, I would consider throwing my Biden bucks on this.
Right.
But right now, FanDuel also on their Super Boost is giving the Bruins to win and the over at 5.5 at plus 340 for tonight's game.
I think it's a solid bet. Joe and I both think the over or the under is gonna play on that. Gonna take that, but I like the bet. I do.
You got Boston. You've got Pittsburgh. Goals are going to get scored for sure. From what Joe was saying, the AHL goalies might be playing for Boston. That makes me question Boston coming out on top in this whole thing now.
Yeah.
But I think for something that you're throwing $5-10 on,
for sure,
it's absolutely worth the
But this is
gamble.
why I love the Super Boost because you
Yeah.
can throw like $5-10 on it and walk out with like $25 or
Yep.
whatever, which is
And that's
fantastic.
exactly it. And at that price, I mean, the $4,000 that we were discussing before aside,
Right.
for $5-10, I'm absolutely taking
nice.
it.
Yeah, I like that. I unfortunately I do like the under in that game, but
Okay.
I like the bet though. Those Super Boosts are fun to play around with. For me, I'm gonna start on the NBA, and I'm gonna play the Hawks and the Rockets. I'm gonna take the Hawks minus the 9.5. The Rockets just are abysmal.
They're a dumpster fire.
They're so bad.
They really are bad.
That team is a back alley abortion. They're without Wall. They're without Gordon. They're without Wood.
Oh Jesus.
Not to mention, that's another reason why I'm going to take the under in this game as
Oh
well.
yeah.
I think the Hawks win this one easily. Might even be fucking 20 points if they win this game by. So you're giving up the 9.5, and the over under is at 224.5. The Rockets are going to be lucky to make it to 100. So, the Hawks 120. You're still not hitting that 124.5 over. I'm going to go under in this game as well.
Is anybody surprised that they're this bad, though, for Houston?
No, not even a little bit.
I mean, this
No.
team legitimately may have been fooled by a man wearing a fat suit
Yep.
at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I'm not even remotely surprised by
Yeah.
it, and I'm actually okay with it.
I mean, I have no.
I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Either way.
One way or the other, I don't really care. But I'm not surprised.
No, not even a little bit. Let's go to my second bet here. We're going to go to the Premier League. And the top of the table matchup with Leicester and Manchester City. And we have Manchester City going to Leicester. I love this bet. Leicester's a solid team. They're top 4 in the league right now. And they're tough to play home. Granted, Manchester City's up there is arguably one of the top teams in the world right now. But for whatever reason, I got a good feeling about this. Give me Leicester plus the 500.
Nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Again, sticking with the Super Boost right now. Damian Lillard to score 30-plus and Portland to win against New Orleans tonight.
I was thinking about that one earlier, too.
It's a plus 315 right now.
saw that.
I literally just saw it as you were going over your last bet. This is going to be a hard one not to take. Lillard definitely can put up 30 on a consistent basis. I definitely think they're going to beat New Orleans.
That's the one that kind of threw me a little bit. Because Portland, they're such a finicky team.
They are, but when they're hot,
when they're hot, they're good. Yeah,
they're one of the best teams in basketball.
Right. But
New Orleans has been pretty hot lately, too.
Yeah, New Orleans has been pretty good.
They're scoring up a ton.
Well,
I'll tell you what, no matter what, in that game, I would take the over in that game.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
I would absolutely take the over in that
I
game.
want to say, what did they have the over set at? I want to say it was at 240 something.
Yeah, I would say around 240.
Let me look this up.
I think that's high, but I'd still probably take the over in that game.
We'll let Joe go with his next one, and
all right. So
I'll look up what the over/under is on that game.
All right. So my next one, I'm moving to hockey, and in this one, I'm going to take the Wild money line against the Coyotes. Wild are at home. I'm also going to give you a couple of player props in this one. I'm going to take Zuccarello for a point and Kaprizov for a goal in this one. I really like both those bets, along with the Wild to win this game. If you could do a same game parlay and put those together, do that, you'll make even more. So that's what I like.
Zook. I'm a Zuccarello fan.
I am too.
No,
I love the way the kid plays.
I just said that kid from Minnesota. He's gonna be a stud. He's already playing. He's already playing fantastic. He's arguably Calder Trophy leader right now with him and what's his nuts in Ottawa, Stützle.
Ottawa.
It was at 238.
Is that 238?
Yep.
I think I had just looked it up. It had it at 239. So if you can get it at 238,
if you get it
better.
yeah, for sure. I'll go to my last bet. It's an NBA bet, which I rarely bet on the NBA, but I kind of like this line. I just like how this team has been playing lately. It's the Knicks and the Sixers. Give me the Knicks plus 225. Why not?
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, the Knicks have been hot lately.
They have. They played Brooklyn tough last night. So
and right now, if you're going to play a team tough, Brooklyn's the one to play tough.
Yeah. So yeah, give me the Knicks with a plus 225.
Okay.
Very nice.
I'm going to just throw a third one out here because I didn't really have one prepped up. I was more or less planning on going with the spread the love as my first, but we kind of threw that out there outside of everything. Lakers right now are giving up 8 to Minnesota. I think that's a game they're definitely going to clear. And I don't see much of an issue there. The over set at 223. If you parlay them together, take the Lakers and the over, win yourself a couple of bucks on it.
For sure.
There you go. I like that. My next one's just going to be a real simple one. I'm going to take Tampa Bay against Dallas. I'm going to take Tampa Bay money line. I think they clear this game at least by a goal. I don't think I'd give up the goal and a half, but money line I feel is a pretty safe bet in this one.
Yeah, especially the way Tampa's played Dallas this year, and just they've bombed them pretty much every time they played them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty safe bet, and for money line, it's actually not actually not a bad money line considering they have bombed them so much.
But I think Dallas is breaking out those all white unis tonight. Those things are so hideous. So hideous. So if for no other reason, take Tampa because of that.
All right, and
Tampa's
I believe
just looking like a team that's going to repeat right now.
Wouldn't surprise me. And they're going to get Kucherov back at the end of the freaking season. One of the best players in the league.
Run through everybody and then all of a sudden get one of your best players back.
Oh. I mean, that's kind of what they did last year when then they got Stamkos back in the final.
Yeah, Stamkos shows up game 3 of the finals.
Cool, man. And scores.
Scores a goal, never see him again.
Oh, man. Yeah, so those are picks. I actually like those picks. I think we got some good ones in there.
Yeah,
might have to throw a little bit of money on some of these things. I wasn't going to. Like I had said, I was staying away from it. But
I always throw at least just a little bit on them, and everything I give is something I like anyway.
Yeah.
So I always put a little bit on what I put out there. So whether it's $5 or not, I always put a little bit on them.
I think I'm definitely going to put some money on that Portland game though. Especially at least the over anyway.
the Portland one, and then I was looking at the soccer one you brought up at the beginning, the Chelsea and
Bayern Munich.
Yep,
And Byron,
Bayern Munich.
Chelsea and Bayern. I said, you know what? Why not throw a couple bucks tonight and have a good day tomorrow?
Why not?
it's weird they just gave a dude named Byron a team.
Bayern München.
All right, we're gonna get into NFL free agency.
Yeah.
And all the
let's do that.
NFL goings and comings. I tell you that we talked about it before the show. The Patriots are just going ham in free agency right now.
Yeah, they are.
The only problem I see with that is they're not. To me, there's some of these that don't make sense, right? So I'll go over. We'll just go over New England.
You're a Patriots fan, so
I am, and I just don't understand some of these. So they re-signed Cam Newton, which is it's a very team friendly contract. It's worth up to $13.6 million, right? But the deal has a base value of $5.1 million.
It's about $2 million a touchdown for him.
touchdown pass.
ding ding ding.
So that there's some bonuses and incentives built into there. So it's not really, it's a team friendly contract. It's not that bad. It's not as good as last year's contract for him, but
I mean, at least they didn't give him something crazy like Taysom Hill just got.
what did Taysom Hill get? I didn't even
And
see
then
that
they
one.
go out the next, like, not even next day, next 5 hours and sign fucking Jameis.
Yeah.
Taysom got like $140 million
But it's
for
all
the next 4 years.
But it's all fake money.
yeah.
It's literally all fake money. Because there's so many like incentives and clauses in the contract where they can
Jesus.
just
Yeah.
you don't get anything.
And then they turn around and gave Jameis like
Yeah.
$14 million
Wow.
to come back and be the starter.
I saw the Jameis one, but so New England here, they signed Nelson Aguilar to a 2-year contract
Great
with $26 million. I like that, but again, he's not a number one, and New England doesn't have a number one. So it's a base salary of $11 million.
He's still better than anybody they had last year.
Yes, but there's other receivers out there you can go get that. You're paying him $13 million a year.
I was going to say, you go up $2 or $3 million, you can get yourself somebody like Kenny Galladay.
Right. And Galladay at this point is
Costing himself money.
Yeah.
Fucking dum-dum.
And he's wanting 18 to 20, 21. He's not going to get that.
No, he's not.
Most he's going to get is 16 right now, from what I can tell. There's only 2 teams that are interested in him. One of them is Miami. And both those teams said they're interested in him for the right price, which means $16 million, bro. That's all you're going to get.
Who was the other team?
God, I don't remember. I do. I just remember that Miami stood out for
I
me
was
as
gonna
well.
say, I don't know why Chicago's sticking out in my brain, but I feel like it's not Chicago.
Well, they just re-signed. They franchise tagged him, Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to.
And
And
gonna
they're
have the
talking
red-
about trading Miller.
And they're going to have the red rocket thrown to him.
Andy Dalton. Maybe the Red Rocket throwing to him. They still got Trubisky. They might still try to force that.
Regardless, it's not the most ideal situation at quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
No.
Which I love because my cousin's wife is a diehard Bear fan, has season tickets. God, I love anytime one of our quarterbacks is placed like shit, I was like, dude, your quarterbacks are so bad. Like, you have a really good defense. Why do you always have a shitty quarterback? Always.
And they
that's
do.
how it always works
They
out
do.
for them.
They do. The only two. So I'm just looking down the list at these signings here, and there's if you look at all the free agent signings, New England by far has as far as amount has outsigned fucking every
Yeah,
team.
they got like 8 free agents they've signed already.
The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys.
There you go.
And some of them are re-signed, but the 2 I do like is Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry.
Oh, the Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry's a great signing.
Yeah.
Honestly, Jonnu Smith is even better than that. Jonnu Smith is a better tight end in my opinion. Hunter Henry is the name. Jonnu Smith is the better tight end. And if you put both those guys on the field, not only can you have a run game like New England wants to have, but then you can basically go back to the days of Gronkowski and Hernandez when they had 2 tight ends on the field, and that was their heyday. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think those 2 signings were brilliant. I question the Kendrick Bourne signing. He's a third wide receiver basically. I don't know why you'd sign him to a 3-year, $22 million deal. That doesn't make sense to me. But You know, some of the other signings, Matt Judon.
Yeah,
that's a great sign.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I like that one.
Justin Bethel, they re-signed him. Signed Jalen Mills. You know, so I mean, they're going out and spending money. They're trying to get back into
And you got to remember
contention.
too, like that's a team that had, I want to say, about 7 or 8 guys that sat out all of last year because of the COVID.
Yeah.
So you're adding all these free agents. You're getting some notable players. I know Hightower's one of them. I can't think of who else sat out, but you're getting some players back too. Like this should be a little bit different New England team than we saw this past year.
The whole division got better, except because the Jets still suck. But Miami's going to be.
Why they signed Gerard Davis?
Oh yeah, that'll
$7 million.
Yeah, they signed Gerard Davis.
Like
and what receiver did they get?
They signed Corey Davis out
Corey
of
Davis. There we go.
I actually like that one. It's a big contract though. 3 years, $37.5 million.
Because they're paying him to be a 1, and he's not a 1.
Yeah. Well,
and that's a move. Teams like New York, Detroit, guys like that, they make those moves because they're going to take a shot trying to get somebody to work out as a top guy that other places aren't going to look at it as anything more than a 2, maybe a 3.
Yeah, I guess I look at that contract. It's about $12 million a year. That's not too bad actually, because fucking Nelson Aguilar's getting more than that.
Yeah, right.
But that's not a bad signing for them. But let's stay in the same division. Let's go to your team, Chris.
Yeah.
They signed the offensive lineman Darrell Williams, 3-year contract, $28 million. Let's see, Joe Feliciano, the guard, agreed to a 3-year contract. They don't have the terms on here. They re-signed Matt Milano, which is
and those are the 3 guys they didn't know. People said they're probably going to be able to sign 1 or 2 of them. They didn't think they'd be able to sign all 3 of them.
Yeah, it's great they could break all 3
Matt Milano was one of those guys rumored to not be able to be signed back.
Right.
He was going to go somewhere else, but they signed him to a 4-year, $41 million contract. That's cheap. That's cheap. He's a good linebacker.
Because you're seeing it with a lot of these Bills players. Like they know they have a chance to win. So they'll take a little bit less money. In the NFL, I don't necessarily advise doing that, but I mean, if you got a chance to win, and you like, they have a legitimate chance to win a Super Bowl.
They do, absolutely.
And then especially if, from what I was reading today, if they somehow get Zach Ertz out of Philadelphia, God, that'd be massive.
Yeah, because they have never really had, since in recent years, they haven't really had a very good tight end.
No.
And that's kind of what that offense is missing. You know, I mean, they have Steph Diggs right now. A good tight end, and they need one of the running backs either on their team or somebody that they're going to pick up to actually play well.
And like Frank was saying earlier, he goes, if they somehow get Zach Ertz, that just opens up the running game a little bit anyway.
It does, and then in that case, you need one of those guys, either Moss or Singletary, to actually perform.
On top of the fact that, I mean, you look at what Diggs did when he was in Minnesota, when he had Thielen on the opposite side, and they had only Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I'm a Rudolph fan. I
'cause he went to Notre Dame.
Yes. I wish a lot of things would have went differently for him in his career. He could have been a hell of a lot better player than he ended up being. But when he was their tight end, you look at the numbers that Diggs was putting up. All Buffalo's got to do is add somebody that's even tolerable as a number 2, and you get somebody like Zach Ertz that's going to open up Diggs.
Oh, absolutely,
all day long.
Well, and when you think about it, Diggs had a career year last year,
right?
And yet to think that he could actually do better is, I mean, it's nuts, but he can.
And for a kid like Josh Allen, like that is such a great position that he is going to be in going into next year if they can pick him up.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely, just another weapon.
Yeah,
I mean.
Yep, and then so same division. You look at Miami; they really haven't done much at all. They signed Jacoby Brissett basically to back up Tua and be a safety. Question mark there because they have question marks around Tua. They might even draft a quarterback. Who knows? And they might do the same thing with Brissett that they did with Fitz. You know,
who is now going to the Washington football team.
Who signed with Washington? And I'll follow that guy wherever he goes. I root for him. I just. He's one of those guys I'm going to root for until he retires, and if I have it my way, he'll play until he's 80 because I enjoy the guy. I enjoy watching the guy play. He plays balls out all the time, and he's just fun to watch in press conferences too. Like the guy's just an awesome dude.
If they had a Hall of Fame for guys who just went out there every day and just grinded, not the best of the best, but the guys who just went out and gave everything they had to that sport, Fitz would be honestly the top person in that Hall of Fame for
I
me.
know one of the guys I work with. He's a big Washington fan, and he was thrilled about the signing. 'Cause he was talking about
hell
it.
yeah.
He was talking about it yesterday before it actually took place. He's like, man, if we could get Fitz, that'd be huge. And obviously, it hit last night. And he comes in, he goes, got my guy. I'm like, all right, man, that's cool. I saw that. I heard it last night before he went to bed. But yeah, I think it's a good
honestly
signing
was
for the
hoping
Redskins.
that he would come to Detroit
Why?
as a backup.
Why?
Why? Why not? Everywhere he goes, he ends up doing well.
If you're gonna back up, at least go to a team that you have a chance to maybe win.
Listen, if
This is talking about the guy who just was at Miami.
Yeah.
and they actually won though.
They actually
Well, yeah, they ended up winning, but at the time he went there, they weren't a team that was expected to win.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, now at this point, he was considering
Right.
retirement. So I mean, now go somewhere where you got a chance to win.
Which, I don't know. I think he's still got a year or two left.
I'd say
maybe
for me,
even more.
For me, it would have been tough if he signed with Detroit because I'd have to root for a player that played for Detroit.
Oh, I'd have a jersey. I'd have a jersey instantly.
Of course you would.
I'd have to really think about it. That might have been the only Lions jersey I would ever buy.
Fitzmagic comes to Detroit and wins Joe back over.
Oh
No.
Oh God.
No,
Who could we sign then that would win Chris over?
Nobody.
I was gonna say that didn't even win me over. It just that would have been a
I don't
jersey I
care.
might have bought.
Putting you in a jersey is winning you over, in my opinion. That's the closest we'll ever get to getting you back as a fan.
Oh shit!
Speaking of somebody else who is done with football, and football, whatever. We're done with teams, but somebody's done with football. Drew Brees.
Yeah, he retired.
Finally hung him up,
He retired.
which I'm not surprised about.
I think.
The longer it went, the more I was starting to think he was coming back.
No, I think it took him for that long to realize he's like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. And I'm sure NBC offered him a shitload of money to go do college football.
Didn't he
games or
sign
whatever.
with NBC like 2 years ago, too?
Right, but obviously it wasn't going to kick in until he
Right.
stopped playing. But
Yeah, and they're paying him a shit ton of money too.
But
Yep.
I'm just saying, like, knowing you have that to fall back on.
right,
Well, he's gonna
Got to make that decision easier.
He's gonna do NFL, college, and the Olympics.
the Olympics. What the fuck's he going to do in the Olympics?
I don't know, but that's what I read, and they're paying him a shit ton of money too.
Romo money?
Maybe he does bobsled.
Yeah,
2 weeks in a row with the bobsled reference.
nicely done, sir.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. If anybody wants their bobsled fix, tune into Sports on Tap Detroit.
We got you covered on
Feel
that.
the rhythm. Feel the rhythm.
Wow. Yeah, that just happened, everybody.
So very quickly. I want to touch on the Browns,
Yep.
the team I root for. They signed John Johnson out of L.A. and they signed him to a 3-year, $33 million deal to shore up the back end of their defense, which they desperately needed a safety. I love that signing for them. They haven't been very active in free agency, but they went out and got the guy they needed to sign. Like that's a great signing. John Johnson brings some major attitude to that defense, and he's got skill. I love that signing for them. I wish they'd be a little more active and get another pass rusher or two, but I do love that signing for them.
That's solid.
They just signed, I don't know if you have it on your screen yet, but
Tech McKinley.
is that the D end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
It's
signed him
a depth move.
Yeah,
It's nothing
It's a
fancy.
1-year, $4 million deal. He's going to be the third string D end.
Yeah.
But the one signing they had, I really love it. I wish they'd be a little more active, but other than that, I really do love that signing. They actually have a DN that's coming off of injured reserve that didn't play last year.
Okay.
That I think that's one reason why they're not signing another pass rusher and maybe just going to wait till a draft to draft somebody. But they have a guy coming off of injured reserve that is supposed to be pretty damn good. He just was injured and couldn't play. So we'll see how that works out for him.
Okay.
But yeah, now let's you want to make our way over to the Lions. And
Not particularly, but I mean, it's Frank's team, so go ahead, buddy.
I was going to say the only other two signings I have on teams that even remotely interest me is Marvin Jones going to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which I thought was a huge ad for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Well, they signed Jamal Agnew out of Detroit too.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're-
well.
The Jaguars are
They got a kick returner. Sweet.
the Jaguars are turning into Detroit Lions 2.0. Agnew,
The
Marvin
Lions-
Jones.
I guess
Lions
Urban
way?
wanted to come here a lot more than anybody knew.
He's paying players more money than he did at Ohio State.
Well, funny you say that because he also just picked up Carlos Hyde. So he's paying Carlos Hyde
There you go.
again.
Jesus. All right.
And then the other one was Vegas signed Ngakoue.
Yeah, I
which-
think that was, yeah.
You know,
I saw that. I think it's a solid signing for them.
it gives them a third DN. They can kind of shuffle through because they do like Crosby.
Yep.
Farrell obviously is the first round pick. You're not giving up on him just yet.
Right.
And if Ngakoue can have even half the talent that he had when he was in Baltimore,
And he wanted out of Baltimore.
yeah, and he wanted out.
Yeah, he did.
Well, I look at another
I-
signing that
Ideally, he would be the Jacksonville version of himself, but
Yeah.
I'll take
That's-
what I can get.
Well, it's like I was telling you, if he can be the guy he was, not last year, but the guy he was, that's a huge signing for them.
Oh yeah,
Huge.
especially at $13 million a year.
Yeah, that's huge.
And the Leos re-signed Aquara.
Yep, they signed re-signed Romeo
Also
Aquara.
at 13 a year. Ngakoue,
Yeah.
Aquara. Yeah, they're right around the same player. I can understand why they both get $13 million.
Right.
Well, and see, I had this conversation with somebody earlier today, and it's a Lions fan. Oh, he's worth every penny of it. He's a great pass rusher. Well, all right, listen, it's not a bad contract at $13 million a year. I'm not saying it is. Because, like I was talking to you, Frank, before the show started, that defense needs some quality guys.
Yeah.
Because you can't assess the rest of your talent if your whole defense is shit, right? So you have to have some quality players. I like the signing. It's a 3-year deal that can basically be a 2-year deal. And if he plays well enough, if he plays like he did at the second half of last year, and he's that guy, you can trade him and get some more draft picks. That's great. And if he doesn't, it's a 2-year deal. You're not out that much money. No big deal.
And I've said it the last 2 weeks. I still stand by what I said. I think his brother's the better player. I think this just gives you a little bit of a bridge until his brother's ready to be a true starter.
I don't disagree with that. But the guy who I was talking to today was just all about how he's an elite pass rusher. I'm like, come on, man.
Elite.
Like,
What?
I was going to say elite's kind of a strong word.
Oh, because he has so many quarterback pressures and he has so many quarterback hits. And I go, he had 10 sacks last year, and most of them came in the second half of the season. The most he had before that was 7 sacks 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And like, come on, he's not elite at anything. He's not great at anything. He turned out to be a solid player who is showing promise. If he keeps on that progression, that's great. Yeah. If he doesn't, the contract doesn't kill you. It's not that bad. It's although again on that level, Ngakoue 13 million and Aquara 13 million. Which one is really worth the 13 million?
I said, if you have a difficult last name, you get $13 million.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's like I said last week to you guys. His worth was basically 10 million, and this tells me, Ngakoue's contract tells me, and from what the other signings are, it tells me they overpaid $3 million a year for a player they should have paid $10 million a year.
Yeah,
that's basically what he's worth.
But they also got him cheaper than the franchise tag would have been.
Oh, for sure.
So that's where I can understand why they paid what they paid.
Absolutely.
I don't agree with it, but I understand it.
Another signing I love is Tennessee got Bud Dupree.
Yeah,
and they just signed Janoris Jenkins too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they did actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's no details for that one, but the Bud Dupree contract is 5 years, worth up to $85 million. $35 million is guaranteed. That's a great signing for them. They needed to shore up that defense because their defense really kind of took a step back last year.
It did,
and the rest of their team is built to win. Like they're ready to win. They're a consistent playoff team right now. They're going for it. I love that signing. It's a brilliant fucking signing.
And there's a defense adding people who can fuck people up.
Oh yeah,
that is going to be a hard hitting defense.
Oh, absolutely, it is.
Yeah. Janoris Jenkins and Bud Dupree. Watch the fuck out, man.
I know somebody who's a fan of that signing. Big fan of that signing.
Yeah. I think.
I can't say that I'm a Titans fan or have been with anybody to make me a Titans fan, but this is definitely one of those moves that'll put you on board.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hold that one back.
Oh, Jesus.
Nope, just me.
I love
just
those.
Frank.
I love those resets. I really do.
I think I had an aneurysm trying to hold that one in. Holy shit. Oh, my God.
The other deal I really like and ultimately it depends on what Houston does. Is you gonna be all right there?
Sorry, go ahead.
Is the Tyrod to Houston deal?
Wait, when did you become a Titans fan?
You guys would be awful in comedy.
Oh, I love that.
You gotta maintain composure when the funny things are said.
Yeah, I'm good at comedy as far as saying things funny. I'm not good at holding in the laughter. And I didn't get to say shit in that one. I just sitting here trying to hold in the laughter. You fucks.
I say you.
All right. So anyway, back
Tyrod Taylor. Sorry.
Tyrod to Tyrod, 12.5
Did he sign with the Titans?
Not the Titans. Houston.
Oh, all right. So the former Titans.
The former Titans, yes.
All right.
But he signed for $12.5 million to Houston. If Houston decides to get out of the Watson deal,
Yeah. You got serviceable back. Yeah. you got a
somebody who
serviceable
can
starter.
play.
Okay.
And in the event you decide to keep him, Tyrod obviously has made a fantastic name for himself.
Yeah, as long
for
as they don't
being a
got
backup.
like a crazy ass doctor who injects him with some shit.
Just stabs him in the lung again.
Yeah, here you go.
I like Tyrod Taylor. The only thing that would keep me from signing him is his bad fucking luck.
Oh yeah.
Like the dude is always signed somewhere to be the starter, and then something happens to where he's the starter for like 2 weeks, and then something.
But then
happens.
the next person comes in and is a clear-cut starter. So
Yeah.
if Deshaun goes and you
Yeah.
got Tyrod, whoever that backup is, by week 5, Houston's got a money quarterback.
Whoever it is, yeah. The one signing I don't get the most. So I'm looking at this, and I just scrolled across it. Kansas City, they let go.
Wait, let me just take a guess. Where you cut both your left and right offensive tackles and sign a guard?
Signed a guard to a contract that was worth more than both the fucking tackles you let go. What the fuck are you doing? And the Super Bowl showed you can't play without your tackles.
You were a left and right tackle away from probably winning another Super Bowl.
You lost the Super Bowl because your left and right tackle were out of the game. And then as soon as free agency starts, you release your right and left tackle.
And I saw that, but Mahomes, he restructured his deal too.
Did you really?
Yep. It didn't get publicized, but he did.
See, that's smart. Like I was talking to Frank before the show started. Everybody talks about Brady, and you're on one side or the other, right? You talk shit about him, or you love the guy. But everybody wants to talk about how he wins, right? How does he win? The dude just restructured his contract so they could sign free agents and sign the players that they were going to lose to free agency. It's fucking brilliant. That's how he wins. He doesn't. In his career, he's made like $300 and some million.
I want to say it was $343 million in his entire career.
For a quarterback who's won 7 Super Bowls, that's nothing.
But
But
just
that's
to
why
put that
he
in
wins.
context, though, Stafford's last deal was over $400 million.
Well, and
That's just his last deal.
well, yeah, and Patrick Mahomes just signed for fucking $500 million. So he only made $343 million over his entire career. He's played for 21 years. That's how he wins, because he defers money and he signs smaller contracts so that you can put other players around you to win. That's brilliant.
He goes
and
out
if
and restructures, and Gronk comes right back.
Yep, and they signed Levante David, they signed Shaq Barrett. They were able to sign guys they couldn't have signed if he didn't restructure his contract.
Yep.
It's brilliant. And if Mahomes did it, that's brilliant on his part too.
Yeah.
Then he knows what needs to be done to win. Although what needs to be done to win is not letting both your tackles go.
Yeah, having guys that can actually protect you.
Yeah. So you don't have to run for your life the
Right.
entire time like it did in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And still looked like he had an okay game. Running for his life the entire game.
Yeah.
Dude, he ran more behind the line of scrimmage than I've seen any quarterback run in my life.
You did.
And then the reason it happened is because both of your tackles were out, and then you promptly just let both your tackles go and sign a guard.
Which you didn't really need.
To more money than you had in both the tackles combined.
Your left tackle, who's typically one of the highest paid players on the team.
Yeah.
You cut so you could sign a guard and pay him more.
It's crazy.
You know what's not crazy?
I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer that.
Joe's like, no,
No.
you will not get me on this one.
What's going on at Flagstar Bank right now? Right now, it's a great time to purchase a home or even refinance your existing home. So call my guy, Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank. He'll give you the top-notch service that you're looking for. Flagstar is currently offering a 0% down home purchase program. However, the program won't last long, but the rates are incredibly low. So call my guy, Jason Stiltner, today at 248-675-0675. Trust me, you don't want to miss this great opportunity. That number again is 248-675-0675. Flagstar Bank is an equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Bingo.
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 All right. Any other football free agent stuff you guys want to talk about? I'm scrolling down the list here. I don't see any other.
Not like huge ones or anything.
Yeah, I don't see any other huge names out here. Seattle hasn't done shit.
No.
Matt Ryan restructured his deal.
Right.
Atlanta hasn't done dick other than that.
Well, no, they had to restructure his deal just to get under the cap.
Oh, shit.
They're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Aaron
your
Jones,
dog shit team of the year.
Yeah, Aaron Jones re-signed.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which, to me, in my opinion, that was bad on Green Bay's part. Aaron Jones could have went somewhere else and made more money, first of all. But second of all, Green Bay already had his backup in A.J. Dillon, who looks to be as good as Aaron Jones, and yet you are paying a bunch of money to a running back, which in this day and age is not a smart move. To me, Green Bay shit the bed on that one, but that's just me. Bodes well for your Lions, though.
It does.
Leos. Tournament?
The Leons.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get into the NCAA March Madness tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's
the Lions head coach. Oh, yeah, brother.
I guess an idiot. Sorry.
Do not speak about MCDC like that, please.
That guy's a doofus.
Oh, man.
I prefer that more than the other name. I still prefer you don't speak poorly of him.
He's a doofus.
Oh, just wait until next football season.
That's why I'm saying let's not talk about him now, because next season you guys are going to rip him limb to limb again.
Oh, yeah. Listen, what I'm going to say is, he's going to get trash talk by us nonstop. By me personally, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to trash talk him nonstop because he just opens himself up for it.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Okay.
This is what I'm going to say.
What are you going to say?
You already said it.
What I'm going to say is.
So I'm looking at this bracket, and I'm just I honestly I have no idea because this year's been just so weird with college basketball that I really haven't paid a huge amount of attention to it. I mean, I've watched Michigan obviously because
they're having a hell of a year.
They're having a hell of a year. But other than that, like I know a few things here and there, like Baylor's good, Gonzaga's good. That's cool.
Baylor stumbled a little bit.
Illinois is good.
Gonzaga is
bunch of fucking crybabies, but they're good.
Yeah, they're otherworldly.
Yeah. So I'm looking. This is the first year in a long time non-COVID that I will not fill out a bracket this year.
70% of people have Gonzaga winning their bracket.
Of course they do, and honestly, I don't blame them because I'm looking at the region in the West region. They should roll through that region. I don't see. Honestly, the only team I see giving them even remotely a fight is probably Kansas, maybe Iowa.
On ESPN, they have the quote-unquote people's bracket.
Yeah.
This is the percentages of who's picked who. Once you get down to the Elite Eight, I believe it is, they actually have Kansas losing to Iowa. So they wouldn't even meet up if it goes according to the people's bracket.
That's fair.
Oh.
Yeah, so like the West region, I don't see anybody taking down Gonzaga. I think they roll to the Final Four.
I agree with that.
And then taking a look at the South bracket, I mean, again, I don't know if honestly, I'm going to take Ohio State to make it to the Final Four out of the South.
Okay.
I don't think Baylor's that good. I don't. Like, yeah, they play in the Big 12, which it's it's a solid conference. I'm not saying it's terrible or anything, but
Yeah, but they stumbled there towards
yeah,
towards the end of the season, and I just don't. They're number one based on what they did throughout the season, but
right.
Ohio State has a very good team.
They do. They have a very good team. So I could see Baylor and Ohio State meeting up in the Elite Eight to see who goes to the Final Four. I'm going to take Ohio State to go to the Final Four.
I think a dark horse in there is actually another Big Ten team, Purdue, at the number 4 seed.
Okay.
I think they're a dark horse that could actually make it and could beat Baylor and meet up with Ohio State. In there.
I got them falling to Nova after the second round.
Really?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then looking at the Midwest bracket, I don't see any way that Illinois just doesn't roll to the Final Four. Like I just look at this bracket, and the only one I have possibly upending that is Oklahoma State. And Joe, you talked about it before the show. They're good. Oklahoma State's good. A lot of people sleep on that team.
There's a couple sleepers I like in here. So
I was gonna say my sleeper is in that division.
I love Oklahoma State. They were just on fire down the stretch,
Tennessee?
man. And
West Virginia.
really?
Oh yeah, I see it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, West Virginia. West Virginia is another one that could come out of their 3 seed. Houston, don't underestimate them at the 2 seed, man. They have a hell of a team and they're scrappy. They can put together some big games. And then honestly, a real dark horse is Loyola. I like them to make it past Georgia Tech, and they could give Illinois a fight there. Possibly, I like them as a possible real dark horse. But
Sister Jean will be happy to hear that.
yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about that pick is Sister Jean.
You know what? Now you mentioned it, because I didn't see Houston in this region because it was. I didn't scroll up, but you know what? I'm gonna take Houston to make.
This could actually be a really good division.
Yeah, I think this is that quote unquote region of death or group of death or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
You've got and again, Oklahoma State. I have trouble picking against them. I really do.
Yeah.
They're my late season favorite team at this point. They've been playing on fire.
Yeah, give me Houston. Go to the Final Four out of the Midwest.
And I like that team too as well. I mean, Illinois is tough as hell. Houston's going to be tough as hell. Oklahoma State, tough as hell. And then you've got some other teams in there, like you said, West Virginia.
I got West Virginia winning the whole thing.
Really?
That's how my bracket's set up right now. I'm not a big believer in number 1 seeds being the ones that coast all the way through. I think
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, not anymore.
It's just kind of gone by the wayside.
Yeah.
I do agree that Gonzaga is probably the heavy favorite to win this whole thing. But if I wasn't taking them, that's how I set up my bracket, and I took West Virginia to win it all.
Wow.
They're a hot shooting team. If they can shoot the way they've been shooting this season and step it up for tournament, I could see them having a real chance at it.
Yeah.
Then just looking at the East region, Michigan's region, obviously number 1 seed. I don't see with that injury to Livers is huge. Mm-hmm. It's massive. If he was still in there, I have him easily in the Final Four.
Well, yeah, you're talking about a different team. Unfortunately,
If Livers is still there, I agree with you. Without Livers, that's a big blow to them.
Yep.
And I think they were lucky to get the number 1 seed. I think the way they played throughout the season, they're number 1 seed. But without Livers, they're not a number 1 seed. Him being gone takes a lot away from that team.
No, I would agree with you. But just looking at that bracket, I can see Florida State coming out of this bracket. I could see Alabama coming out of this bracket.
Alabama's one of my favorite teams down the stretch too. I really like that team. They're another team that was on fire down the stretch, on fire in the conference championship, conference tournament. They're a real good shooting team.
Yeah.
I mean, they shoot threes like they're going out of style. Mm-hmm. And they're a real solid team. I like them. I'm a big fan of them. I think they could actually take this bracket.
I have out of the East, my Elite 8 matchup is actually Colorado versus Texas.
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I went on the lesser side of things. Basically, Colorado, I feel like always is one of those teams that kind of sneaks in and does something.
Yeah.
They're not ever a team that's going to win it. I mean, they may eventually win it, But in this particular year, Texas was playing hot at the beginning of the year. I could see them circling around and getting hot again.
I'll be honest with you, though. Georgetown has been hot now.
Georgetown won me some money too.
I see Georgetown taking out Colorado in that first matchup.
It's entirely
truthfully.
possible.
Truthfully, that's looking at it because I haven't really looked 100% at this bracket because this is the first year I haven't filled out a bracket. Honestly,
Right.
Don't plan on it. But
I literally just put one together last night in the thoughts that we were going to do this today. So I threw one together.
yeah, I kind of glanced at it, but I don't know what it is. But maybe it's COVID. Maybe it's the fact that there's other gambling. I feel like I'm not the only one that's not into doing brackets this year. I think there's a lot of people that are just
For me, it was
used to do it.
For me, it was just a gambling issue because, like I said, I could just we talked about before the show. Like I can just go on FanDuel or whatever app and just throw money on whatever game I
On the
want.
game, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you get to, a Sweet 16, and in mine, I have Michigan, Colorado, and
Yeah.
I've picked Colorado to go over Michigan in that game.
Right.
But you get to that game, it could be LSU versus Florida State. You
It
never
could.
know. So to bet on the entire bracket, like I get it. I wouldn't personally do it. I might throw like $10 on a bracket at work or something like
Right.
that. But overall, if you're looking to win money off of it, betting the matchup's the smarter way to do it.
Yeah, I got an invite to do now. One of our friends, Brooks and I, we do it's squares
Okay.
for the tournament, and that's kind of like Super Bowl squares.
Right.
Each game pays out, and it's really cool. I like doing that. We split that one, but that's a decent amount of money, so that's why we split it. But I also got an invite to do a bracket for $150, and I was like, with luck of the draw to do a bracket for $150, no thanks, man.
Right. It's
No,
not
I'm
worth
good.
it.
I'd much rather.
I'd rather put $3 on every game.
Exactly.
And it works out to be just about the same thing.
Right. Like, there's no way I'm going to put $150 on the luck of filling
Yeah.
out a fucking bracket.
No, that's crazy.
Because it takes a lot of fucking luck.
Yes, it does. Like as somebody who's actually won a bracket, which was the year,
Many years ago, I won one.
yeah, this year Villanova beat Michigan. So
Okay.
that was the tough thing. If Michigan won, I didn't win anything. But if Villanova won, I won the whole thing. So it's
So,
like
you were torn.
I was incredibly torn. I'm like,
God damn it.
shit. I ended up winning like $400. It was great, but
Nice.
That's why brackets like this are easy for me to do. Notre Dame always flirts with the NIT and the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
So years they're not in the NCAA, I don't have the heart pick, obviously. And somebody like Michigan State, which we discussed it earlier, the 11 seed being the playing
yeah,
game.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, it really
doesn't make any sense. to me.
Doesn't make any sense.
I'm utterly confused at that, and I was disappointed before the show when we talked about it, because when you brought it up, I was going to ask that on the show because I was hoping one of you would have an answer for me.
I got nothing.
I don't understand how you have. Yes, there's two 16 seed games that are plans. I get that because you got the last two teams that might make it, and you're like, all right, well, these two teams are going to fight it out for the last
right,
spot.
yeah, that's what the 16 seed should essentially be.
Right. But why do you have two 11 seeds fighting it out for each other?
Right.
In that case, both them should make the fucking tournament. One should be an 11, one should be a 12.
I was gonna
Move
say,
all the rest of them down the fucking
Georgetown,
list.
Greensboro, UNC, and Alibi Christian and Iona are the other teams that are outside the 16 play-in matchup and the 11 seed play-in matchup. Like, if UCLA and Michigan State are better than those teams, why are they in the play-in game?
I don't. Because they wanted a marquee matchup in the play-in games. I don't know.
I mean, that's fine because normally you get like Oakland versus Detroit Mercy
Well,
or something like that. But
Listen, if they want to marquee matchups, in that case, the 16 seeds are Norfolk State against App State and Mount St. Mary's against Texas Southern. Like, those aren't marquee
And
matchups.
seriously, if for no other reason than playing into the football narrative,
I was gonna
how
say,
do you
yep.
not have that matchup
I was literally
against
just- I was
going
just-
to play against Michigan?
Literally just gonna say that too. I'm like, come on, you got to do that. Like, come on, committee.
Yeah.
Like, you have App State, Michigan as a round one game. That means nothing to anybody except Michigan and App State fans
Yep.
who just want to see that. And no matter who wins that game, you're going to have a fan base that's going to be talking shit.
Yeah.
Like, that is a reason to watch a round one game right there.
With that being said, I kind of want to look at those 11 seed playing games, because one of them includes a local team, Michigan State,
Right.
playing UCLA, and the other one is Wichita State versus Drake. I don't really care to talk about the 16 seeds playing each other. I don't give a flying fuck if Mount St. Mary's or Texas Southern win. I don't give two shits whether Norfolk State or App State fucking win. Who cares? Wichita State and Drake? I kind of like that. I like Drake personally.
I'm going to take Wichita State in that one.
Really? Okay.
let me see.
I like the Drake.
Hate the Drake.
I like the Drake.
Hate the Drake.
You got the reference. I like that.
Yes.
But in this game, I do. I like the Drake to win. Frank, I know Chris goes with Wichita State. Do you have any opinion on that game at all?
In all honesty, even when I looked at it, picking the bracket, I picked USC to beat whoever ends up winning that game.
Yeah.
So as a heads up, I guess just give me Drake. I could see Drake being a team that may be able to do something. Wichita State, I mean, borderline never heard of. I've heard of them, but when it comes to college basketball, like I wasn't even aware they were a team that would be entertaining the tournament. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I got Michigan State.
Michigan State, UCLA.
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning that same way. This one's a little tougher for me.
I mean, if I'm getting the 80 points, I'm definitely going with
Well,
State.
it's not only that, but UCLA. Nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, on FanDuel.
yeah, right. But no, UCLA's been the past month and a half or so. They've been struggling big time.
Yeah.
So, and let's see, it's March, so it's Izzo time. Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, that fucking bullshit narrative.
And this will be the one game in March you win.
Yeah. And then,
You don't see them beating BYU after that?
No.
I think it's possible. I don't think BYU's a fucking world beater. I
I
think either one of those teams that comes out of here has a possibility of beating BYU.
I'm also of the mindset, and we discussed this earlier when we were talking with Chris about the Tottenham and Arsenal game. I'm a person that's going into this March tournament completely dead set on the fact that State's got to suck ass. So whether they're out in the first round or a miracle happens and they go all the way to the championship game, in my head, they're a dog shit team.
all right.
All right.
Fair enough.
All right. Well,
All right, so Joe, give me your final four.
oh,
Do it.
wow. Somebody go first because I gotta take
Frank's got his right in front of him.
Yeah, I got my whole bracket. I got Gonzaga, Texas, Baylor, West Virginia.
I got Gonzaga, Ohio State, Houston, and Alabama.
All right, I'm gonna go. Oh man, this Midwest is tough. I'm torn between Oklahoma State and Houston. I'm gonna go Oklahoma State,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go with Ohio State, and I'm gonna go with Gonzaga, and then I'm gonna go with Alabama.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
We'll have to write those down.
we
actually just
we say that
realized-
about things all the time,
I know,
and we
me too.
don't ever write them down.
Never read them
It's
down.
literally why I put the bracket together last night, because I was like, this way, it's already here.
Right.
I have the screenshots, so whenever somebody says, send me your bracket, I can just send it right
Nice.
over.
Yeah, this
I
is
just realized I got 1 verse 3 verse 1 verse 3.
Nice.
That's my final four.
I think I got one. I think I got one, like 3 2s.
And
Yeah,
then
I
my
got-
finals
yeah.
1 verse 3.
I got a 2, a 4, and a 2 and a 1.
Nice. Yeah, we'll see. It's definitely going to be interesting this year because obviously they're all playing in like one central area in Indiana. Like
I'm just glad it's happening.
I am
this
too.
year.
Yeah.
I missed this last year.
Yep. I did too.
This was like the beginning of COVID last year when they canceled this, and I was so disappointed they
Yep.
canceled this shit last year.
Because the one thing we were all kind of looking forward to being locked down was the fact that at that point,
We could watch
baseball was going to be on, the March Madness was like, we were going to spend a month inside.
and then we couldn't watch.
Then they canceled all of it.
sports, and then we were locked inside and we couldn't watch shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
No, I'm with you on that one, Joe. I'm just glad it's actually being played. So
yeah, I'm super pumped about about this coming up.
right.
And tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day,
Yes, it is.
and there's another one that I haven't heard much about St. Patrick's Day this year. Like
No, because
I fucking hate St. Patrick's
like
Day.
with the.
I've always been a fan, but I mean, I used to celebrate my birthday on St. Patrick's Day. That's
Well, see, that's funny, and I'm going to drop it now. My birthday's on Friday. So with St. Patrick's Day being 2 days before my birthday, it always kind of got in the way of me celebrating my birthday.
yeah.
Because, and at one point we did. I mean, Joe, you were there numerous times. we would do St. Patrick's Day, and then we would drink on the 18th, and then we would drink on the 19th, and then if the 19th was a Friday, we would drink on the 20th, and then drink on the 21st. And
That's felonious. I was never there for any of those drinking events. I don't know.
well, no,
what
you
you're
were
talking
you
about.
were working at that point.
Oh, okay.
A lot of times we came
You
to
were
the
with
establishment.
you were with me, however, on some St. Patrick's Day.
That's felonious.
I have visual evidence of this.
That is felonious. It never happened.
I only admitted that you were there because, like I said, you were working most of the time at
Yeah.
the establishment that I would
Right.
regular at that point.
No, like St. Patrick's Day used to be a huge deal for me. Like I would like take it off work and whatnot. Now it's just kind of like, whatever.
It just gets in the way of my birthday at
Whatever.
this point.
Like I'd rather go to the St. Patrick's parade than celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
See, now that's one I've never gone to the St. Patrick's Day.
I
parade.
honestly,
Never
it's,
been.
to me, it's just a lot of fun. You know,
Yeah.
there's a race that goes on down there, and it's a good time. It's fun.
See, I've never had a desire to go, and I've never been.
That's fair.
Maybe in this point in my life, maybe next year we should go.
Yeah.
I would be down for that.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I mean, the parade would be fun. I never really understood the appeal of everybody who rushes to Chicago to see a river dyed green. I
Yeah, I
never
don't-
got that.
I don't know.
No.
But again, like I said, I'm a hater of St. Patrick's Day for
fair.
selfish reasons.
I'm a hater of several things that people love, like fireworks. I never
Fireworks
I don't,
grind your gears.
fireworks kind of grind my gears because everyone goes out there and oohs and ahs at
Yeah,
them.
I'm with you on
like,
that one.
You saw that shit. Like it's nothing new. You've
Yeah.
seen it before.
Right.
What are you oohing and on about? You saw the same fucking show last year. You saw the same fucking show last week when you watched it for 4th of July. It's the same fucking fireworks all
is.
the time.
It is.
Why do you?
And fireworks really take on a different view to you if you almost get killed by one. Like when we were kids, my brother took literally a firework to the face.
In the face.
But after watching that, the best part was it then landed on my neighbor's now ex-wife, and she was wearing like satin shorts, and they almost went up in flames.
Oh, nice.
She was a
Jesus.
fucking bitch, so she
All right,
deserved
fair
that.
enough.
But
Yeah, burn twat.
Jesus.
But yeah, when you watch something like that happen as a kid,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, you know what? You guys do the dumb shit with the fireworks. And
Yeah,
I'll just
I
stand
mean,
here
Jason
behind a
Pierre-Paul's
couple
done it
cars.
twice, right?
Lost a couple digits.
Just a couple digits. You know,
Did it twice, lost 2.5 fingers.
idiot.
But like I've never enjoyed fireworks shows for
No,
that reason.
I'm
'cause,
with
like,
you 100%.
one is just a bunch of people fucking bumping into each other,
Yep.
looking at fireworks that you've fucking seen before. Like you've seen them all before. They don't come up with anything new.
No.
It's not like it's a brand new firework you've never seen before that goes up and dances and fucking farts fucking butterflies and shit.
Like you-
it's just
butterflies?
what else? Like they're the same fireworks.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. It's nothing special. It's the same fucking firework.
Or when you go downtown and then you're like,
It's a
"Ooh,
nightmare."
and then you're like, wait a minute, was that gunshots?
Like I went downtown 1 year for the fireworks. It
Okay.
is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, no thanks.
I'll do it on the Canadian side.
I
won't do
did.
it
We did on the
ours.
Canadian side.
It was a nightmare for you over there?
It's coming back.
Well,
Fuck
yeah, coming back's a different
It was a
story.
disaster.
But
yeah,
like
being over there, they
parades
very-
were another one for me that I just never got into.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Parades don't appeal to me. I don't have any desire to go sit there and watch a bunch of floats go by and a bunch of people I don't know waving at me. Like, I'm like,
clowns.
how you doing? You look great on that fucking float over there. That's a good looking float. Did you help build that? I don't fucking care about that shit.
And then you look at the clowns and you go, I know you're probably still drunk. You were drunk last night for sure. Like, these people got...
I like how he's pointing at me on this.
Well, he doesn't drink, so...
I was like, wow, why is Chris drunk in this
And
whole scenario?
Cool, man.
I mean, it makes sense, but still, why is it?
All right.
Sorry, we'll point away from Chris.
There you go.
You were drunk last night, we know.
Oh, talking about the clowns themselves,
Yeah.
yeah. As they're stumbling down the street,
Right.
They're
Right.
not actually pretending to stumble, folks. They're stumbling because they're still drunk from the night before,
Right.
Because they have to dress up as clowns for a living. That's why they drink.
That's true.
And like, stuff like that, I look at it and go, this is more of just a waste of my time. I don't enjoy it.
But another thing downtown,
But so many people love that shit. I don't get it.
they do. But another thing going on downtown that grinds my gears. Opening day. You're seriously gonna fucking tell me you're only gonna let 1,000 people into that fucking stadium for opening fucking day?
They're letting in more at spring training.
What a fucking joke! You can fit damn near 50,000 people in that fucking stadium, and you're only gonna bring in 1,000.
You know
What the fuck are we doing here? It's oh my god, what a now we're getting restaurants and shit back to like 50%, which I still think is a joke. It should be more than that. But 1,000 people in Comerica fucking Park, an open air fucking stadium. That's an abomination.
And I have a question for the two of you. When it comes to specifically the COVID handling and the sports and all of that. And this is something that I've been sitting on for about a year now, just thinking about. And nobody did it, and it kind of surprised me. At what point did people not think to just use the suites? You could have always had people in there, in suites.
Yep.
You could sell those suites out, family, close friends, whatever, people are comfortable with each other. And you could have at least had people in there.
Right.
Yep.
When I look at this, they say 1,000 people. Well, that number can go to 5 easily if you fill the suites up, too.
Right. But just the number 1,000 for that stadium is a fucking joke.
At this point, I think we've all learned that mom's very overprotective.
I'm gonna refrain myself out of this conversation. I'm not taking your bait, Frank. I'm not doing it.
Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it, Frank. Don't you listen?
Joe's like, I want my Biden bucks. I'm not saying anything to ruin that.
Don't you tempt me, devil. Don't you tempt me. I will light that bitch up.
That's why I tried to take the reins on that one and just be like, she's overprotective.
But yes,
we'll go with that.
That is
to hear Joe's opinion. Wait for the second episode that will drop this week, where Joe just goes off on a microphone.
right.
Listen. You're right. Just give me my fucking Biden bucks. All right. That's all I care about at this point. Give me my Biden bucks. Which brings me to,
You know what really grinds my gears?
and this one's kind of a serious point for me, so I'll try to make it funny, but it bothers me. So the whole Biden bucks thing and the whole scenario behind the stimulus and all that stuff is they said they're giving out more in child credit on your taxes, right? That's part of that. Is they're upping the child credit for taxes. And the headlines read, and everywhere I've read them, the headlines read, this will help single mothers drastically.
Yeah, fuck single fathers.
Hello.
I'm sorry. Why the fuck do single mothers get pointed out like they're the fucking martyrs of the world as a single father who actually pays for part of the single mother's living? I'm going to tell you, single dads need some fucking help too. It's not all about single moms. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. It pisses me the fuck off. Everything is about the single moms bullshit. There's single dads out there that could use this help too. Don't just single out single moms. And not to mention, this is another thing that pissed me off. Every parent puts out there like they're a fucking superhero for being parents to their kids. Bro, chick, whoever the fuck I'm talking to, you're not. You're a fucking parent. You're doing your fucking job as a parent. You had your kid, be a fucking parent. You're not a superhero, okay? You're doing your fucking job because you had a kid. Do your fucking job. You don't put it out there on social media like you're the end-all be-all of, oh, I take care of my kids. I do all this bullshit. That's your fucking job. You had your fucking kids. Do your fucking job and just shut the fuck up.
Did we get another Italian on
I was
the
saying,
show?
it sounds like he's from Brooklyn right now.
Don't ask for fucking praise. Don't ask for somebody to fucking tap you on the back. Don't ask for somebody to fucking give you a round of applause.
Brooklyn Joe.
You had your fucking kids. Take care of them, and that's all you need. You don't need a round of applause. You don't need somebody to stand up and clap for you. You don't need somebody to give you a pat on the fucking ass. Be a parent, shut the fuck up, and do your job.
Pat on the fucking ass.
Brooklyn Joe has spoken. I love it.
Fucking bullshit.
Hit that cameo video.
Shit, I got another grind my gears too. If you guys want to get into that shit.
He's not done. He's not done.
Hit it, man.
Here's another one.
Hit it.
Okay, this one just happened to me today.
Oh,
So
still from Brooklyn.
this one just I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep doing this just cause I feel like fucking doing it now.
This prison Mike.
Hey, Prison Mike here telling you. No, so I unsubscribed from an email I was getting. It was like one of those fucking bullshit things where you subscribe, you do something, and all of a sudden you start getting emails for it, right?
Right.
So it was a sports betting one.
Yep.
And I just didn't want to see it anymore. It wasn't one that I had any interest in. So I went to unsubscribe from it. And as soon as I unsubscribed, it sent me another fucking email to tell me I unsubscribed.
Thanks.
You stupid fucks. The reason I'm unsubscribing is because I don't want the emails from you. Don't send me another one telling me I unsubscribed. I fucking know I did it because I fucking did it. I'm the one that did it. Don't send me another fucking email. That's the reason I unsubscribed in the first place, you stupid fucks.
I do have one kind of kind of in that vein is like when you go to like a fast food joint and you go through the drive-thru and you pull up to the speaker and they say, hi, can I take your order? And as soon as you go to order, oh, hold on a minute. It's like,
I hate when people do that when you call them.
It's like,
or when they call you, sorry.
Yeah.
I literally know people who will be like, oh, I'm going to call Frank. Ring, ring, ring. And then I answer and they're like, oh, hold on. Why the fuck didn't
why'd
you
you call
wait
me?
to call me?
Then why did you call me? I'm hanging up, and you can call me back.
if you weren't ready to take my fucking order, don't say, hey, what would you like? Or, are you ready to order? If you're not ready, wait till you're fucking ready. That shit's irritating as hell. Or if I'm looking at the menu, don't fucking rush me. Shit. Like, that's one thing I hate about going through the drive-thru is if you feel like you have 10 seconds to look at the fucking menu. Like, if you don't do it on your phone or
I'm absolutely
order it.
one of those people where if I hit a drive-thru, I already know what I want.
I generally
every
do.
Other person in line knows too.
But it's rare that I'll go through the drive-thru and not know what I want. Like, that happened about a week ago. I was just like, I haven't been here in a long time. I don't remember what I wanted. And she was like kind of rushing me. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Just you have a huge menu. Let me fucking look at it.
Give me a fucking minute, man.
Jesus. But anyways, so those are my two.
Yeah. That's grind your gears.
Yeah.
Happy Chinooka.
I just wanted that because my blood pressure hit an all-time high going over my grind your gears.
Brooklyn Joe fucking came out in full force.
But he moved on from Brooklyn for that second one.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't quite pinpoint where he went to with
Maybe
it.
Queens?
Sounded more like maybe in northern New York.
Apparently, when I get mad and I have an attitude, apparently apparently I sound like a Brooklyn person.
You sound like you're from Brooklyn.
Hey.
Sounds like Andrew Dice
It
Clay
does.
all of a sudden.
This fucking pisses me off.
I do agree with you, though. There is this thing that's been going on in the world for a very long time that doesn't pay attention to the father side of things and just pays attention to the mothers. And I'm kind of the mindset that I feel for the person who didn't necessarily choose to be in that situation. If you chose to be in the situation, why the fuck am I supposed to care about you?
Right.
No, I'm with you.
I agree with you.
But
That's
why I agree with what grinds Joe's gears.
And that's my point. There are single moms out there that do deserve.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they were it wasn't their choice. So I'm not talking about them, but there's a lot of single moms out there that have chosen that situation.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be singled out. There's a lot of single dads out there that didn't choose their situation either. So let's give a little credit where credit's due. And then when it comes down to it, stop giving parents credit for anything. They're doing their fucking job. They're being parents. You chose that.
Fact.
You got to have the fun. Now you got to do your job.
Done. Fact.
That's your choice. On to the cameo from Vince Young.
Vince Young. Remember Vince Young?
Yeah, do you remember him?
From arguably the best football game ever played?
Yeah, this better be
of Texas fame.
Good. Because I turned down another Sean Avery one.
You did.
For this.
I gave you guys a choice, and you chose this one.
I got to hear the Vince Young one, man.
And I'm telling you.
I could do straight up Sean Avery ones for the rest of my life. I wouldn't care. And I'd probably laugh harder than I did last weekend.
We can do the Sean Avery one next week because it is pretty funny. But this one is Vince Young, and you might just cringe. I don't know. Here we go.
Good morning, Kenton. This is Vince Young checking in. Just want to say congratulations on becoming a lawyer, man. I know that that wasn't easy, but you got it done. So you made that.
This man looks like a defensive tackle
life
now.
goal to come true. So congratulations, man. Go out there and help us people, man. It's definitely needed. Definitely need good lawyers like yourself. Graduating from UT already made you a great lawyer. So keep up the good work, man. Looking forward to one day probably meeting again. This is a book by your boy Daniel, so everybody's very proud of you, man. So go get them, baby. This is the first chapter, and get ready for the next chapter, man. Go save some lives. Hook 'em arms.
I got nothing for that.
It was. Oh,
I got nothing for that. Nothing.
What I get from that is Vince Young plans on needing a good lawyer for something at some point.
At some point.
Because he said he plans on meeting him at some point.
Yeah.
That, like I said, Vince Young now looks like a defensive tackle.
What I get out of that is Vince Young needs to rehearse his cameos before he just does them live on camera.
That was just like he had no clue what to fucking say.
That's exactly what it came across as. Like he just knew who he was supposed to talk about, why he was supposed to talk about him, and who paid him to do it.
Right.
It was the equivalent of 15-year-old me trying to talk to my crush.
So good job.
Yeah.
And he knew he went to Texas.
Yeah, like, dude.
He only mentioned that like 8 times
Right.
out of the 12 words he said the entire time.
Yeah,
that was awkward.
Yeah, that was bad.
I told you guys.
I still think the McGrath ones are worse, but that one was bad.
No, listen, that one I look at and I go, that was just bad on Vince Young's part.
Yeah, that was
Mark McGrath ones I look at and go, whoever booked that must really dislike that person.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say they're worse.
Yeah.
So I think Mark McGrath actually handled him pretty well, considering he had to fire somebody and he had to break up with somebody. Vince Young, his was just awkward because
the dude
he
broke
was
up
awkward.
with, though, like the dude he broke up with got backstage.
I love how we're
passes
saying
and
Mark McGrath broke up with a dude.
Right. He's getting a high five out of the deal. He's getting the backstage passes. He's getting all that shit. Like, you gotta get broken up with. Right. That's not a bad way to go. You get backstage passes to Sugar Ray.
So, I'm telling you, these cameos, the deeper down the cameo hole I go, they're fucking bad. Like Gary Busey's on Cameo. Talk about a back alley abortion. Holy shit. I mean,
I am anxious to get to that.
I am too.
I mean, Gary Busey's a back alley abortion as it is.
Yes.
Do you have that one loaded up?
I mean, no, I can.
Okay. I was going to say, if you had it, we'd do it. But if not, don't worry about it. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. I can load it up real quick. It doesn't take but a minute.
Gary Busey, like, I thinking
Gary
about this
Busey.
one, like,
I'm Gary Busey.
This see how Vince Young just did his. This is how I feel Gary Busey's would be before. Because I haven't seen this. I have no idea.
Except I think of Gary Busey in the scene from Entourage where he's doing the whole totem thing on the beach, and like I picture that, but delivered like Vince Young just.
All right, here you go. I think I loaded it up.
Hello, this is Gary Busey. I have a message for Zach Haynes from Jason Norton. What I heard, Zach, is that you want to do a cameo for Jason from me, but you don't have the funds to do it. You're too broke to do it properly. Well, you know what that means? That means that somewhere there's a village looking for their idiot. You could be the idiot for that village. Jason, for you better think about who you choose as a friend from now on. Because Zach is a friend in reverse. And that's an enemy.
Oh, Jesus.
I love Buseyisms.
It's great when you feel you've chosen a friend to be a good friend because that person you're choosing always and already has you as a friend. Friends are special. They're very important, very strong. Out of friendship comes partnership, communication, companies, love, marriage. Friends, strong word. So, Zach, get out of your cave and make friends with yourself first. Because if you're not your own friend, how can you make friends with others? Okay.
I love Busey.
I love you, Zach.
This is awesome.
Take the message to your heart. And Jason, pick your friends wisely.
This is fucking glorious.
I know you'll both be good from this message. See you later.
This message.
That is absolutely sage advice from Gary Busey.
I love Buseyisms. Because
when I first asked him to play this, I was like, this could just be really stupid. I am so thankful that you played that.
That
for
was
us.
great.
Oh my god, listening to Gary Busey is just funny anyway, and some of his cameos are just fucking priceless.
That was great.
And the dude is always philosophical in everything he says, although some of them are really philosophical.
It may make sense. It may not.
Some of them are. Some of them you're just like, huh?
What?
Wait, what? What did you just say?
That was great.
Man, that dude's a fucking classic.
Nice.
Yep. I would guarantee you we're gonna have more Gary Busey cameos.
Yeah, I would think so.
I mean, it still doesn't top Sean Avery, but it was.
I don't know, man.
I'm not going to say it was life-changing, but it's got me thinking about things right now.
If it's got you contemplating things,
it's got you thinking about your friendships.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Probably including the two people sitting in this fucking room.
That's fair.
Trying to figure out if either one of you are a friend in reverse.
Which is your enemy?
That's what Gary just told us.
I know.
But it's not your enemy, it's your enemy.
Gary Busey.
Your enemy.
It's your enemy.
That was great. That was
Gary Busey. All right. Well, with that being said, that's going to do it for
I
tonight's
think it's
show.
a good thing. I think it's a good note to end the show on.
Yeah, we're just going to end it there. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. As always, check out our website, sotdet.com. We want to thank everyone out there for listening and or watching. On behalf of Chris and Frank, I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye, have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No. Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
You were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.